Herbivore. Herbivore. morning. How are we doing? Let's get in position. How is everyone? Good to see you. Lorraine Edie is in. Oh, first of all, I should say. Oh no, I don't put this on Patreon, do I? This one. I won't bother saying all that. Lorraine Edie, good morning. Richard Benham, good morning to you. The hand of the voice from beyond is here. Ben Torb is here. Hi to you. Good old Robert Pacino, MSMD, Ekaterina, the vegan metalhead, up for work. Yuck, don't you swear at me. Josh Nix, what's the vegan alternative to taurine? Just eat food. Just eat food. Taurine was first isolated in bull's semen. So if you want a direct source of taurine, one of the better ones is bull's semen. So drink a gallon of bull's semen. That's a...
I keep saying bull's semen.
So it's naturally in animal products. It's added to sports drinks like Red Bulls and stuff. It's not quite an amino acid. It's in that sort of ballpark. But basically, you know, you can eat animals and get taurine and give yourself heart disease. You can drink Red Bulls and get taurine and give yourself Alzheimer's disease. Or you can just eat plant foods, get the amino acids, which is what the bulls ate in the first place. And we, like the animals some of us foolishly choose to eat, can make taurine from the amino acids. It's a non-essential nutrient. It's not something you need to try and get. If you're eating real food, you know, if you're eating whole plant foods, you're manufacturing taurine. Angela Baby Carson's in the house in British Columbia, almost 2 a.m. I tried to stay up for the live. Ah, you little sweetie. Vegan Namshi is in the house. I don't eat dead bodies. No, that's not a statement. That's someone's name. Good morning. I wish I could stay, but I've got to catch some Z's. It's 3 a.m. here in beautiful Rocky Mountains. Ah, thanks for all you do. Wish you and Gemma a wonderful day. Have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful sleep. I don't eat dead bodies, and thanks for your kind words. Gomez Adams is in there. She's a delight. Lolly, we're very good. Morning to you. Vegan Vamshi, when is this going to start? Right about now. And no, you did not retract that in time. We're getting some very kind compliments from people like Angela. Nice. That is nice, isn't it? Brian Kettering is in the house. Good to see you again. I recognise that name. Jane, morning Hench and all. Morning to you. Good morning, Vamshi. Angela, I also like Raw Christina and Free the Banana Girl, but I cook a lot of stuff. Hench and Gemma are the best of their recipes too. Thank you. Lolly brings up a good point. Bull semen. People have some funny ideas, don't they?
Weasel poo coffee.
Weasel poo coffee. Who dreamed that up? Weird. Matt 4S. Candice died today. I'm so sad. Who is Candice? And I'm sorry to hear of someone's loss there. Tom Z. Hey Hench, thanks for being awesome every day. That's nice, isn't it?
Why is everyone being so lovely?
Why are you all being so lovely today, eh? Why are you being so lovely? We really appreciate you. Thanks, Angela. Jane never drinks energy drinks, hate them. I used to be so addicted to like energy drinks, coffee, Pro Plus, like caffeine tablets, and naughtier things. When I was bodybuilding, I was using ephedrine, which is more or less like speed, really. It got banned in the end. I was just doing tons of this. I've really burnt out my adrenals, which people say isn't a thing. But I was very sick, and I was having to do tons of stimulants just to try to be half normal. I don't think it was great. Like, Gem, imagine how anxious that must have made me the whole time, my heart racing. Yeah. Working the doors, and I put myself in these high pressure situations.
It's true, yeah.
And being off my tits on massive amounts of stimulants. What was I? How did I live? How was I even alive, I wonder now? Yeah, don't do energy drinks and stuff. I think, like, if you tolerate caffeine well, yeah, green tea, matcha, fantastic, lots of health benefits, lovely antioxidants. Coffee, like, you know, in moderation, like there's pros and cons, but I think some people can handle some caffeine and do okay. But you know, these energy drinks, and you know, I think if say you've got to drive late at night, say you're forced to, you don't have a choice. Okay, I see the argument for their judicious use. Maybe once or twice a year or something, like, you know, it's not something you want to be doing regularly if you want to be healthy. You don't want to be skimping on your sleep for a start. But I'm just one of those sorts of people. I just have a very, what's the phrase? So I'm just kind of all or nothing, and it's better off if it's something unhealthy, better to be nothing. Addictive personality was the phrase I was looking for. Yeah, it's not good for me. I'm better off without it. Marcus, what up, Paul from Down Under? I love coming on in the morning because I do see some of my Australian friends. I've got lots of supporters in Australia. It's good to see you guys. Where in Australia are you, Marcus, and how is the vegan scene where you are? Well said, Den. Well said. Matt 4S, what's your opinion on the Candice experiment with mad cow disease? I don't know what that is. So I have no opinion, I'm afraid. Angharad, good morning everyone, and some great emojis there. Do subscribe to Angharad. She's a YouTuber she's got over 1,000 subs on her channel. Check her out. She's well good, particularly if you're a younger person, or if you have younger people in your life, perhaps children, or you know, just younger people that you know. Show them Angharad's channel. They'll love it. I'm just looking for my monkey, just in case any super chats come up. Gemma, have you seen the monkey?
Yeah,
oh, there he is.
At the back, yeah.
What became of the monkey? Ha! Gomez Adams, what? Weasel poo. Some unscrupulous people feed coffee beans to weasels, and then they sell their poo as like a coffee delicacy thing. It's weird. Oh, I was going to thank everyone for patrons and channel members for their support, because normally the live streams go to Patreon and Patreon for like the replay value, but I've not been putting these ones up. I don't know why. It's just more work. It's just more work, and I'm not sure that people watch the other ones, to be honest. But if people do want them, let me know, and I will put them on there. What you can do though, if you've got the link, if you've got this link right now, I just put the video to unlisted, so you can still watch that. It's not like I've put them to private or deleted them. They are on the channel, but the link is just not available for people. Unless you happen to have it. Angela, I'm having a problem quitting coffee. I did. And the only reason I eventually managed it was that the pain of remaining the same became greater than the pain of changing. And basically, I just started to get more or less one constant migraine. So that was worse than the alternative. But simply, Angela, I would say, just slowly lower your dose over time. Lower your dose. And most people get addicted to coffee because, you know, maybe you don't sleep too well, so you think, well, I have loads of coffee the next day. That will help me get through the day. Then I'll have a good night's sleep. Coffee has a half-life of 5 to 6 hours, is it? Or is it 7 to 8? It's got quite a long half-life. Anyway, basically, if you have a cup of coffee at about 6 p.m, by the time 2 p.m, by the time most people go to bed, it's like they've just had a quarter of a cup of coffee, you know, and that is there to block adenosine, which is your body's, basically adenosine builds up through the day, and it's like, you can liken it to sort of pressure, like sleep pressure, and you build up so much adenosine, eventually that makes you like need to sleep. But coffee binds to the receptors to block its action. So you're basically, just before bed, it's like you're having a quarter of a cup of coffee, which is going to block those receptors. And unless unless you've got a real issue and you've messed yourself up for having too much stimulants like I did in the past, you know, you're not going to be really sleeping too well. So then you need more coffee the next day, and that was my life for years, and I really don't recommend it. Gomez, that is what I knew. The berries eating. Oh, it's the berries, like where the coffee bean is inside. Is that what you're saying, Gomez? I'm not too savvy with all that, if I'm honest. So that's interesting. Angela, energy drinks are so dangerous. I had one time. My heart was racing so fast. Yeah. You sound like a poor metabolizer of caffeine. Yeah, I remember. I didn't have any. Sort of caffeinated beverages, and when I was a lad I was doing, well, that's irrelevant, but basically I had one Red Bull about midday and I didn't sleep that night. Yeah. Marcus, I'm from Melbourne and it is very vegan friendly. Very good, that's what we like to hear. Vegan Metalhead, ate a honey mango yesterday with my mother. We both enjoy them. Oh, they're amazing, aren't they? Those yellow Bangladeshi are. How many of you guys love a honey mango? I swear they're the best. Dan, I once took 2 pills with caffeine tabs and I was twice as fast, took 4 times speed, no one knew what I was on about. Yeah, that's the trouble. Vegan Vamshi, anti-vegans tell me that human stomach is acidic like carnivores and omnivores. How to answer that? I don't think our stomach acid is as acidic as a carnivore's. I don't think that's right at all. I do just do a Google search for like, you get those anatomy comparison charts, don't you? I don't think ours is as acidic. And still, like, we need to break down foods into their constituent components, and the fact, yeah, we can eat meat, but we can't avoid heart disease when we eat it. So like, and we've got a choice. You know, we've got a choice. So just because we can do something doesn't make it ethical or environmentally sound or clever. You know. And then, like, I'll tell you what, Vegan Vamshi, search for my video, 51 Reasons, I forget what it's called now, 51 Reasons Carnivore Dieters. I think if you just put 51 Reasons Carnivore Dieters, and then it might be dumb AF or something that I put, something not very kind. Clickbait, you know. But I point out 51 reasons why anatomically, you know, we are best suited to a herbivorous diet. You know, carnivores have fangs. Well, that's not a fang. It's called a canine. It's about 1 millimetre longer than the incisor next to it. Animals that are designed to eat meat have carnassials, like blade-like teeth. They have true, like, fangs.
Penis bone.
They have a penis bone. Except for hyenas, they don't. They're the one carnivore who don't. Yeah, carnivorous animals, believe it or not, have a bone in the penis baculum. Yeah, is it called? That's the one. True carnivores, save for hyenas, have a baculum. That's something you can say. So what else? Get whoever you're talking to, get them to put their finger on their temple. Tell them to clamp down on their jaw. And you'll feel a tiny little pulse. And then tell them to put their fingers into their cheeks and then clamp down. And you get like a massive, great movement. An animal designed to eat meat will have very strong temporalis muscles, which is required to pull the jaw up into the head, because as the animal is clamping down on another animal as it's running away, if these muscles were weak, the jaw would get ripped out of the socket and the animal's dead because he can't eat. Whereas a herbivorous animal has powerful masseters and pterygoids on the inside. So masseters are here, pterygoids are on the other side, and it's designed for this action. If you can do that, anatomically, you're a herbivore. Carnivores and true omnivores, the jaw is fixed. It's a fixed hinge. There's no real side-to-side movement. It's just sheer. And the upper and lower teeth pass each other. Ours join match together, don't they? They will pass to shear, to cut through flesh. They don't join, and they can't grind. They can't grind like plant foods down. They can merely tear flesh off. And 9 out of 10 choking deaths are with meat, which is some instant karma, isn't it? We're not designed to swallow big lumps of flesh. We're just not. Whereas carnivores, obligate omnivores, animals that need to eat meat in order to live, they can't choke. They can't choke on meat. They got the mechanism and they just swallow it down easy. And there's 51 reasons in that video, all like that you can tell them, or just send them the video. That'll be easier. They won't like it much. Den, quitting white sugar is harder than caffeine. I didn't find it so, but I see why you might say that. It was worse when I had corona. Flu-like symptoms. So you've done both, and you found that harder. Mood swings, hot flashes, all day, peed off from little things. I suppose, I eat a lot of fruit, so I'm getting a lot of... I can eat up to like a kilo of carbohydrates, so I'm still getting... It's the glucose that you want if you're eating like white sugar. So yeah, if you're eating like junky foods and just refined sugar and not massive amounts of healthful carbohydrates, I can see how that might be a thing. But I think that the white sugar in and of itself, as long as you're eating like loads of fruits and things, you're still getting the glucose. Baby Angela, baby cousin. I only have one black coffee in the morning. I feel so great you at it though. Definitely something to work on. Try apples, but still bitchy. Yeah, I think if you're having one, caffeinated beverage and it's very early in the day, that should all be out of your system by the night time. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. And there are some benefits to coffee. There's sort of antioxidants. Well, there's some antioxidants. You're better off drinking green tea or something. But it's still better than, just water, for instance. Meat is cringe. Oh, hang on. Baby Angela baby, sorry. I'm vegan for the animals. I love animals. I rescue small animals. I don't blame you. You lucky thing. I would love to be able to hang out with more animals. Meat is cringe. How would you recommend consuming more flax? What are good foods to add flax to? I wouldn't recommend eating too much flax. I would just have 1 tablespoon of ground flax seeds per day. If you have too many, as ground flax comes into contact with fluids and then there's like a sort of chemical reaction occurs, I believe, and you make... is it arsenic? No. Cyanide. If you had, you probably get away with more than 1 tablespoon, but you are making a small amount of cyanide. The dose that makes the poison. Dr. Gregory at nutritionfacts.org says probably the most cyanide-rich flax seeds, because they vary and some don't have much at all. Some have, several times that. 1 second. Yeah, you probably get away with up to 50 grams per day, and still not be at the upper safe tolerable daily limit for cyanide. But why risk it? And other foods are going to have toxins in as well. But there is benefit. You do get the lignans. From the flax seeds, which are anti-cancer. So a tablespoon is good. It's going to protect you from cancer. But if you have too much, I think there's one government where they sort of, I don't know if they've quite outlawed it, but is it Finland somewhere? Like they really warn their people about, not really eating flax seeds. I say, don't avoid them, but you don't want lots. So I just put a tablespoon in a smoothie, ground on top of my porridge. They must be ground, or you don't get like the omega-3 benefits. You can use them in baking. One 1 tablespoon of flax meal with 3 tablespoons of water makes a flax egg. And yeah, you can replace an egg in your baking with it. I just put it as a topping, like a sprinkling on top of fresh fruit, like just ground flax meal. Yeah, but I wouldn't recommend going too high with flax meal. But do have some, because it's really 50% of males making it to age 85 will have prostate cancer. But the men with the most lignans in their prostate fluid have the least chance of that. And that's really, you know, flax seeds have 100 times the lignans of any other food, I hear. So very good. So very powerful for a small amount, but you don't need loads. And if you had loads, you're risking cyanide toxicity. You wanted to say arsenic for some reason. Right, just looking for questions. Zactivist is in the house. Good to see you, brother. Do subscribe to Zactivist. He's great stuff. Lolly. Sugar definitely addictive. Feel miles better since cutting down out sugary stuff. Yeah, it's a quick high and then a crash, so then you want more of it. So that's where that becomes addictive, I think. Vegan Vamshi, thank you. Is sugar in moderation healthy? No, not refined sugar. No amount is healthy. Massive amounts of sugar attached to fibre with all the polyphenols in fruit is super healthy. But when we refine things, they're never healthy. Refined oils, you know, they can sometimes be better than what they replace. So like, you know, an extra virgin olive oil relative to butter, healthier. But now if you look at someone eating like a moderate amount of oil and a whole foods plant-based diet versus someone eating a whole foods plant-based diet, the science has not been done, but I think that we can infer that likely the person without the oil is going to do at least slightly better. You know, we need fibre, we need phytonutrients, you know, no fibre in oil, very few phytonutrients, lots of calories. So there's a lot of obese, you know, and overweight people walking around. Yeah. You know, and it's also, managed oils tend to be higher in omega-6. We need our omega-6-3 ratio in balance, 3 or 4 to 1 in favour of omega-6. Oils can be like 14 to 1 or more in favour of omega-6, which is pro-inflammatory. So, you know, there's like inflammation, so pain in the body, you know, mood disorders. There's a few people now arguing in favour of oils, and I noticed that some of them are overweight, some of them are like terribly depressed all the time and grumpy, and I think, would you be better off without it? You know, not saying that I'm right, but I wonder. Then, without sugar, believe it or not, my eyesight is twice as good. Wow, I was at the eye doctor, he said, well, because the last 2 years I didn't see beep. I'm surprised YouTube didn't block that word. Yeah, my eyesight is twice as strong since I've gone whole foods plant-based. So, yeah, no refined sugar, no animal products. Flight Smith, PS, or maybe that was meant to be please, can I have my third vegan camp out selfie looking small next to you? You certainly can, my friend. You certainly can. I can't quite see who you are in the avatar there because that's a little on the small side, but I look forward to seeing you again, my friend. How many of you guys have come to Camp Out? We've got our tickets now, so we're very excited. Marcus, Paul, thoughts on vegans who work in non-vegan establishments who handle animal products like supermarkets, restaurants, etc.? I've got no comment really. I mean, it's not a vegan world. We have to make a living. You know, some people are going to be really miserable having to do that, and my heart goes out to them. That's all I can say, really. Gary and Georgia Hoffman. G'day, Paul and Gemma from Brisbane. Love, as I said earlier, I love coming on early because we do have lots of our lovely Australian followers. I believe Australia is our third largest following after the UK and US. So it's good to see you guys. How's it going? How's it going down there? How long have you guys been vegan, and how are you feeling? How are you doing on the vegan thing? Lolly Paul, thoughts, advice on dating non-vegans, feeling conflicted? Yeah, I really don't know. I don't know what to say. My heart goes out because I've seen that break up some long-term relationships over time. Oftentimes people eventually come round, but it's hard when you're in a relationship. You know, when you got together, you were one way, then you change, and then your partner may think, well, you should still love me for who I am. You're the one who's changed. But of course, we see the horrors of the animal agriculture industry and etc. And we may worry about their health and, you know, the state of the planet, and it's going to create problems. But there's not an equal split of vegan males and females. There's a lot more vegan females than there is males. So, you know, it may be necessary for now. You know, I think... you know, I've not had to go through that, so I can't really say. I think what I would do is, I don't know what I would do. I wouldn't want to be getting affectionate with someone if they've just eaten like a dead animal, an animal secretion burger. So, I don't know. I think I would withhold sex until they've... clean their teeth and douse themselves in white spirit or something. I don't know, it's hard, I don't know. I've not been through it, Lolly, so I don't really know what to say, but you don't want to be single your whole blinking life, do you? So, and maybe over time they change, like, you know, if you set an example. In a lot of households, if it's, I mean, not that, if it's like a traditional household, you know, oftentimes if the lady is cooking, men are by and large lazy and we just eat what's put in front of us, you know, and maybe the man eats something non-vegan when they're out and about, but eats vegan at home. And that's a step in the right direction, that's saving animals. I think you can't, what I would say is, don't get into a relationship knowing that, and then have resentment towards the other person if they don't change, because, you know, that's likely, isn't it? Like, there's not many vegans in the world at this stage, and I know it's a growing movement, but yeah, there's a hard one, isn't it? But you can't be single. We humans require love and connection, so I think you just got to do your best, follow your heart. Try it for a while and maybe it works out. Maybe they change for the better. I've seen that happen countless times. But I would say don't hold resentment or try too hard to change someone, you know. You know, be a positive influence. Perhaps try to get them to watch some documentaries or... you know, read some articles, see some nutrition facts, videos about health and things. But yeah, it's a difficult one. Like I say, I've not been in that position, so I don't really know what I would do. I guess you would try it for a while, and if it works out, great. And if it takes too long, I mean, maybe they stay the same, but you learn to make peace with and live with it. You know, maybe other than that, they're a really great person, and I don't know, this for some reason they don't see the truth of it. Some people are so brainwashed, you know. Or, you know, maybe you have to end it and then try elsewhere, you know. I guess you got to just try it out and see. But my heart goes out to people because that's a tough one. That's a really tough one, and I'm grateful I've not had to go through it, to be honest, because I don't know quite how I'd navigate it. Oh, it's activist. Where did you get your PC? I'm looking to get one and I can't start streaming up my laptop going mental. I spoke to Vegan Mooncat. He sorted me out. So, yeah. Whether he'll help you out or not, I don't know. But that's where I got my one from. Oh, where am I? Oh, getting all confused. Have you not got a tickets, activist? Have you not got a ticket? Angela Baby Carson has rescued lots of animals, lots of videos. But oh, you have a YouTube channel, Angela? Is that what you're saying? Vegan Vamshi. So the same anti-vegans tell me that some people can't convert beta carotene to retinol properly. How to answer that? Properly. So ask them what they mean by properly. The conversion rate of, and it's not just beta carotene, there's over 600 carotenoids, so you can put them straight on that for a start. So, one second, I'm really dry. Yeah, there's a really rare, it's extremely rare that someone cannot convert beta carotenoids at all. Yeah, the conversion rate is hugely low, but we don't need a whole lot. When I write a nutrition plan for someone, they get several times the amount they need. The retinol activity equivalent required for a female is 700 micrograms or milligrams. Hang on, let me get this right. Chronometer. Right, so yeah, it's micrograms. So a male requires, I think, 900 micrograms of retinol activity equivalent per day. So this is from the carotenoids. A female, 700. And for a female on a cut, when I was a nutritionist, I wrote a plan once, and she got 3,595.2 micrograms. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 times or more that her RDA that she needed. So although we're low converters, it's irrelevant because we don't need a whole lot and there's massive amounts in the diet. So basically, properly, okay, yeah, it's not 1-to-1, but we're getting so much, it's irrelevant. So they're just being idiots. And for the odd person, there is the odd, person with maybe a genetic defect and they can't convert at all. They're really unlucky. There's something wrong. Basically, they're like born like unwell. You can just get a supplement, so there's no problem. What you can't do is eat appreciable amounts of animal products and not get heart disease, cancer, diabetes. So no one is dying of undernutrition. No one is dying of undernutrition. Everyone is dying from eating too much saturated fat, cholesterol, trans fats. Everyone's dying from eating animal products and processed junk. I'm glad you like that, activist. Thanks, Lolly. Carl Kaysen, my son is in the house. Welcome, Sunny Boy. How are you doing? Hope you're well. Oh yeah, we need to make some plans, don't we? Let me know when you're going to be about. That'll be great to hang out again. Yoshi Fan 109 is in the house. Good to see you. Kerry Davis. My husband wasn't vegan when we met, but we both have. We have now both been vegan for about 3 years and have 5 vegan children. Yeah, nice. See, it works. It works out oftentimes. Gianni, do you think it's unethical to eat leftover non-vegan food if it was already been cooked and will otherwise go to waste? The rest of my family aren't vegan and sometimes eat their leftover food. Do I think it's unethical? I find it, for me, I find it distasteful and I wouldn't do it for the health reasons. Is it unethical? I sort of feel like it is to me. I suppose that's all kind of perspectives, really. If it's going to go to waste, then the harm's been done. There's no more harm. And so I suppose there's an argument, like you're not going to eat other foods that then would, even there is the odd crop death. So I suppose there is a sort of an argument there. But I think ethical, like it's down to your own ethics, I suppose. And, we all have our own version of that. My whole thing is, I don't like to try and be dogmatic, but I just try to not do harm where I can. And, I think that's the main thing, but each their own. I'm not gonna judge. It's got to be your own, whether things are ethical to you or not. But if you can live with yourself, I think that's the thing. But I just try to do the least harm, and for me that's how I live. Gary and Georgia, we've been vegan for just on 2 years now. It's been the best thing that we've ever done. Bloods have improved massively and very little osteoarthritic pain in hands. Whole foods, plant-based forever. Nice, that's what we like to hear. Vegan for 2 years. Yeah, bloods improved massively. Yeah. How cool is that? Yeah, osteoarthritis is hugely, there's a hugely pro-inflammatory component, isn't there? Like that's the main thing, really. There is even there's rheumatoid. Yeah, osteoarthritis does still have quite a degree of inflammation involved. We now know, so yeah, that will help you. I had a client previously who massively improved his osteoarthritis. Yeah. Not really sure. Not really sure why someone would say that in a vegan stream. I've got to think they're just trying to upset everyone, so there you can go. Flysmith, I'm trying to bulk up and often resort to porridge, banana and peanut butter to get my last 500 calories in. I know you're not here trying lots of peanut butter. Any other bedtime snack recommendations? Almond butter. As long if it's a whole nut butter and not not with added trans fats and dextrose and sugar and palm oil. It's not so bad as long as you've got your omega-3 and 6 in balance. Like I don't see that's too bad. I mean I wouldn't go overboard on it, but certainly there's better ones. So almond butter would be great. That's got some omega-3s. Yeah, that would be a lot better. But any nuts and seeds, avocados, more overt fat choices, like they're going to pack the calories in, which is, I guess, what you're after. So, yeah, I'd be looking at some of those. The reality of things. Do you agree with vegan gains about wiping out all meat-eater animals? What? I can't imagine he said that. I don't watch him anymore, though, to be fair, so you might be right. Who are we to play God? And there's such a thing as ecosystems and natural balance, and we do a good job of screwing all that up enough already without wiping out. It's not very vegan, is it? I can't imagine he said that, but that's my perspective on it. Thanks, Tom Z. You're welcome, Lolly. Dale, if I'm trying to lose weight while at the same time hold on to as much muscle as I can, where do I start looking for high protein, low calorie foods? You want to go low calorie. You just want to go low enough in calories that you lose no more than 1% of your total body weight each week. If you wanted to hang on to your muscle, you want to be doing some weight training. The compound moves giving you the most bang for your buck, and you'll be burning calories at the same time and strengthening your bones. I say that everyone should do some form of resistance training, some form of cardio. So it's heart and lungs, muscle and bones. In years to come, you'll thank me and you'll thank yourself for having the foresight. Yeah, so maybe up to 2 grams of protein per kilo of leanish body weight per day may be optimal for someone on a weight loss diet. Your higher protein foods, obviously legumes, tofu, tempeh, seitan, protein powders, nutritional yeast. So yeah, eat one of those, but plenty of carbs as well. I'd say go a bit lower fat, like no more than like say 10-15% of your calories from fat, and then the remainder is quite high carbohydrate. That way you'll be better fueled, you'll be better nutritioned, if that's a word. And I've found that the most efficacious way of fat loss, personally. Super chat. Rohan Kalia kindly donated £1.99. Thank you. What do you think of Huel, the supplement brand? I'm not really big into supplements. I do use Vivo Life. You know, I'll have a scoop or two of their Perform protein powder, which is very good. You're better off with the whole foods. You know, I think Huel, isn't it? It's more of a meal replacement. I don't really believe in meal replacements. And Huel, you know, they call it a complete like meal or whatever. It's synthetic, like added synthetic vitamins and minerals, which, if anything at all, the science generally shows that more often than not will do more harm than good, most probably. Yeah, eat real food, man. Eat real food. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. When they approached me when they first came out, and they had some naughty stuff in there as well, whether they're still in there or not, but they added fluoride, which most people don't need to add. There was carrageenan, which we used to think was a potential carcinogen. I think that's been disproven now, although there's a sort of offshoot called polygeenan or something, which may be carcinogen, but it still does naughty things, I think, to the gut microbiome, or there's something that it does that's not good. So that's likely not good if that's still in there. I think there was some coconut fat in there as well, like the long and very long chain triglycerides. Again, this is when they first came out, like years ago. So they, you know, I maybe don't take this as gospel. I don't want to be liable for some misinformation. So, but no, eat real food. If I was going to use a meal replacement, I would use Vivo Life's Whole, because that is more natural. There are vitamins and minerals in there, but they're from whole foods instead of being synthetic. So that's a much different. And what are you doing?
Looking for a phone power bank and my lead.
Has that one got any charge or no?
Sorry to bother you. Hi everyone.
Ha! Take that one.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. Excuse me one moment. I'm being waylaid. No. Here we go. Okay. Anyway, thanks for the super chat, Rohan. I really appreciate you. Yoshi fan, I am 47. I'll be 48 the end of this year. Why am I out of focus? There we go. Zach's not got a ticket. I don't believe it. I'm so sorry to hear that. Blinking heck. That sucks. Nicky Northern British Gaming is in the house. Dale, at the moment I eat a lot of dairy and chicken tuna, but really like to try and move towards plant-based. Do it. Do it. You'll love it. Get my cookbook, Virtuous Vegan. No, sorry, not that one. That's a desserts book. But for protein-wise, where'd you get your protein cookbook? It's just $4.99 at the minute. 30 recipes that I eat all the time that really, you know, will negate your need for dairy, chicken, and tuna. Of course, I've got hundreds of what I eat in a day in recipe videos on this channel, though, for free. Yeah. You can do it. Come on. I noticed nothing but a benefit to my training as well, I'll be honest. Faster recovery, more energy, less tendinitis and things. And your health potential will be so much greater. You will live, more likely than not, you'll live longer and happier and healthier. Not to mention, of course, the environmental devastation. At this rate of environmental destruction, like the planet will not support a 5-year-old human into old age. Like it's going to be too much gone wrong. There'll be wars over water, and it's going to be horrible if we don't all soon change. I feel sorry for future generations, and that's really why I don't want to bring a kid into this world, to be honest. Dale, I've always been supportive of and interested in plant-based. Nice, but it is daunting trying to figure out easy recipes covering low carb, high protein, biggest vegans future for sure. I think part of that is, I think the need for protein is really overemphasized. And from my understanding of the best science, we only need maximum 1.62 grams of protein per kilo of leanish body weight per day on a bulk, and more like 2 grams of protein per kilo of leanish body weight per day on a cut or a recomp. So that's not huge. It's not hard to get. Legumes, whole grains, you know, these have good amounts. Nuts and seeds have a good amount. Even fruit is like 5% protein on average by weight. You know, if you're eating all the foods, by the end of the day, most people get adequate protein. If your needs are higher, you're like a bodybuilder or a strength athlete, or you know, some sort of physique athlete. Yeah, your needs are elevated. So, but by adding in 1 or 2 servings of a more processed plant, you know, protein food like a protein powder or seitan, which is nearly pure protein, tofu as well, you know, which is high protein, like there's a bit of fat in there, low carb. Yeah, it's very, very doable and so much healthier, you know. Right, I've just got lost, sorry. And by the way, Dale, I think that's very cool how you're saying you've been supportive and interested in plant-based. So many people are so defensive. And I know sometimes it's the vegans' fault. Sometimes we vegans can be a bit too judgmental, you know, and sort of aggressive in our message. But I understand it. And when I was first vegan, I was the same way. And, you know, we've seen what's happening. Like, animals are being murdered unnecessarily. They're going through absolute hell for no reason. It's heartbreaking, like, if you think about it. But I kind of found out there's, like, you can be right. You know, you can be, you know, you can be really strong in your messaging in terms of that. Like, you know, meat is murder, like, which it is. But it's so much harder to reach people that way. I think you can be right or you can be effective. And I think oftentimes there's better ways. I think it's good that some people are being more that way. Some people do need to kick up the ass, but most people will not be shamed or guilted into changing their behaviour. They'll become the opposite way. They'll be defensive, you know, and maybe you can get them to go vegan, but they would never become an activist. I don't think. Yeah, but you know, I'm not judging, I'm not criticising anyone, each to their own. I just think it's great that people are caring about animals, and we're all doing our best from our current perspective, from our level of understanding. And I'm open to saying, look, I might be wrong. Like, I might be wrong. Maybe I should be like telling everyone like they're an a-hole. But from my current understanding, I think that we need to connect. I think we need to listen. If you listen, you're more likely to be heard because the person will feel like they've said their bit and you've taken that in. And anyway, I'm not going to keep banging on, but well done you for not being defensive, Dale. I think that's really huge. I love that. Tommy Brooks kindly donated 5 Australian bucks. Super chat. What are your thoughts on vegan muscle meal delivery? Working long hours, I have to start doing that and bulking up my foods with fresh veggies. Yeah, I mean, if they're healthier, there was the vegan fitness meals. One of those did have some coconut oil in. I think it was coconut oil with the kedgeree, so I didn't favour that one. But most of the meals were pretty good. Most of them were pretty good. Just try to get ones without too many additives, you know, not too much oil. But bulking up with fresh veggies, I think that's huge. Yeah, that's the way I used to play it. So I was a brand ambassador for these vegan fitness meals, and yeah, because I was getting them, I was using them, and yeah, just like you say, bulking up with fresh veggies and pretty decent. I mean, it's never going to be quite as good as cooking everything from scratch, but like you say, we've not all got the time to do that. So good for you. Carl, I'll text you back now. My bad. Naughty boy. Dale, just in links to Hench's ebook. Cool. I'll start there. Thank you, Dale. And yeah, any questions? Just hop in the chat here, and I'm excited. Let us know about your journey, Dale. We'll be really interested to hear. Angela stays away from all processed food. Very good. I don't blame you. I knew what you meant, Gary. Dragon Fist. Ha! It's buying coconuts supporting animal slavery and abuse, since they're sometimes used to get coconuts off trees. Is it non-vegan to buy coconuts? It would be non-vegan to buy coconuts where monkey slavery and abuse was involved. But I imagine not all coconuts are harvested by monkeys. But how do you know which ones were or weren't? To be honest, I don't eat a whole load of coconuts anyway, because they are fatty, and I think we should be eating lower fat diets, and they have a lot of the long and very long chain triglycerides. No real like omega-3 in there, you know, not much in the way of omega-6. So I don't really eat them, to be honest. I don't know what percentage of coconuts are harvested by monkeys. I can't imagine it's very high, but again, I don't know. What do I know? I think you have to do your own research on that one. Not something I've really looked into, because I don't really buy them. Yoshi fan, do you grow your own vegetables or herbs? No, but I would really like to. It's just finding the time, innit? You know, and I'm so busy on social media trying to turn the world vegan. So, yeah, I don't really have the time. Eat Plants, very kindly super chatted. $5 US. No question Eat Plants. You're just supporting your local neighbourhood vegan YouTuber out of the kindness of your heart. What a lovely person. Thank you so much. You're really highly appreciated. Right, 3 more minutes, guys. 3 more minutes. Get your comments or questions in, or you'll be too late. Josh Jones, love the background. One apex predator in front of an actual apex predator. Love the work, Hench. Keep up. Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate you, Josh. Heartborn. I've been vegan for over 18 years. My average hemoglobin has been decreasing for the last 2 to 3 years. Now I'm anemic levels. I do consume high iron and vitamin C plus folic acid foods. Advice. Yeah, you'd think that you'd be okay, wouldn't you? You'd think that you'd be okay. I've not come across anyone having this problem before, so I don't really know what to tell you. I would say, like, how good is your diet? And if you're not eating, you know, entirely whole foods plant-based, I would do that. Again, like, I often bang on about this, but I once wrote a plan for a female on a cut on the lowest amount of calories I ever prescribed. She got 3.5 times the iron, like the RDA of iron. But if we eat much in the way of junk foods, it can be easy to not quite get adequate. Oh, well, you say you do consume high iron. I would go, if you're not already, completely whole plant foods. And some things rob us of iron, don't they? Is it like teas and coffees? Is it, or is it just teas? Is it the tannins or something? I forget now, but there's certain foods that rob us of iron. So yeah, well, certainly beverages anyway. If you're having much in the way of oxalate-rich foods, I don't know if oxalates bind with iron, do they? I know they bind with calcium, but for instance, spinach is high in iron. But if the oxalates bind with iron, They're high in oxalates as well. So I wouldn't go more than 1 serving of an oxalate-rich food per day. So don't go too mad on spinach, beet greens, chard, carambola or starfruit, and rhubarb, for instance. Yeah. Yeah, or maybe you've got some sort of malabsorption issue going on, and you've got some kind of gut issue there. Don't know. It's hard to say because, you know, you're saying you've been vegan over 18 years, but that can mean anything, can't it? Other than, like, obviously you're not eating animal products, but there's a difference between a whole foods plant-based vegan and someone who eats much in the way of like Oreos and donuts and junk. Do you know what I mean? You know, these can be anti-nutrients. These sugars and things rob our body of nutrients in order to metabolise. So, yeah, I would say number one, if your diet's not on point, like work towards eating real foods. You can't really put hardly anything in your diet in the way of processed foods and be optimal. You just can't. It's not real food. Look, most of the foods in the supermarket have not been, like 100 years ago, most of the foods that we now see in supermarkets didn't exist. It was just, you know, whole plant foods, animals and their secretions, and that was it, you know. Super chat. Yoshi fan 109 kindly donated $2.99 Australian. Do you still practice any type of martial arts? No, I really don't. I think that physique is a better use of me, so I've doubled down on that, and that's just what I do. I did mess around on a heavy, like a maze bag, like I suppose you call it like a uppercut and hook back, one of those bulbous things. I just did like a left sort of power slap just to see if I could still do it. I put about 3 of these power slaps into it. I was so sore in my distal biceps tendon for days after because I'm so out of condition. I really regretted it. But no, I don't. I'm still very interested in martial arts, but yeah, I just feel it's not the best use of me, and I just want to have the best physique I can. You know, because the number one thing is that where do you get your protein? And I just want to be able to say, well, I'm twice your size and strength, so where do you get yours? And where do you get your fibre, which is the most important thing. Thanks for the super chat. Gary in Georgia. Oh, my lovely Australian friends kindly donated $10. Number one fan. No comment or question. They're just supporting their local neighbourhood vegan YouTubers at the kindness of their heart. Not that local. I'm the other side of the planet. What a wonderful time to be alive, where we can all connect all halfway around the planet, the opposite side, and support each other in what we're doing and come together. And thank you so much. I appreciate you guys so much. Right. I'll just, what time have we got? Actually, let's call it there then. Let's call it there. Lovely. Okay, guys, thanks, moderators, for keeping us troll-free. Thanks for the super chats, keeping the beans on my toast, the wolves from the door, and the cameras rolling. What day is it? Wednesday. Back Friday evening, 6 p.m. GMT. Me and Gemma. Please set a reminder on your phone because YouTube won't remind you. They're terrible people. If you want healthy recipes, check out our 2 cookbooks. This is back to front. It's so hard to do. Virtuous vegan desserts and how to eat. No, that's our course that we're doing. Where do you get your protein cookbook? Check those out for just £4.99 at the minute, so very cheap, really healthy, 30 recipes, delicious, optimise your health, get some gains, have some delicious desserts. And if you're new, we'd love you to become part of the Hench Herbivore community. You can do that by hitting the subscribe button, click that bell icon, follow us, Hench Herbivore and Gemma Herbivore on Instagram, and until next time, I'll see you later. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Have a fantastic day. Really appreciate you.